and welcome
to another episode
of the Lume Plotters.
Yes. The last episode of the Lume Plotters for 2025.
Yeah, just a small panic attack. What? Is it the last one? Are you going to stop? No.
Yeah. No, in fact, we have big changes coming next year, right? We will have a new podcast hosting website that Ralph has found.
Yeah. We are switching our podcast hosting and our podcast recording to a different platform. I mean, the recording, well, we did just, what we record, of course, in separate places. We see each other viewing with a webcam, and we record both locally. And then after that, I mix everything together and make sure that it all somehow works. But now we are going to move to Riverside. Riverside will allow us to not only see each other while we're recording, but also record video and host our podcast. So that might lead to a small disruption because, I wouldn't say disruption for if you are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, you should be fine.
There's one more.
If you are on the smaller ones like podcatchers that we don't know so much about, there might be a bit of a disruption until they get the new URL. We will try to do everything in advance, so as much as we can, but there might be a couple of little niggles, bits and pieces. Riverside is relatively new at hosting podcasts, so they are still building up their how do you say it right?
Ecosystem.
The
infrastructure.
The platforms they support, where they actually can directly push the podcast to. Otherwise, Apple Podcast is like a bit of a clearinghouse where a lot of people actually use the streams and the URLs from Apple Podcast and just grab it from there. So that should, in most of the cases, work. But
from the percentages that we saw, it was about 5% or something of people are not using one of the major platforms such as Spotify or YouTube or Apple Podcasts. So in those cases, if you are one of those 5%, you may need to swap over to one of the mainstream apps. I'm sorry. But the benefit, let's talk about the benefit. The benefit will be more videos.
Yeah, more videos.
So we will once again do podcasts as usual.
Yep.
But as you've seen, we've played with this before where we did a few videos on YouTube with guests. We had a certain limitation on how many hours we could do per month. One time we recorded with Mahmoud and we didn't have the allocation for the hours, and that's why you didn't get a video. But now that Ralph has signed us up for this, we will have more hours so we could do more videos. We're not going to do videos all the time because I know that defeats the purpose of a podcast, but once in a while we will throw you a bone and we will put out a video.
Yeah, and there's not so much to see because we very often, we are not sitting in fancy studios and all of these things, right? So we're sitting
Ralph,
in our home office or in our living rooms.
With a cupboard behind him, and I have my dining table behind me. So yes, not much to see, but we will still give you some.
We will do it.
Yeah. It'll be different, right?
It will be fun. And of course, not only is this cooler with guests, but also when we have something to show, or some screenshots and other things that we will do, you will always be able to see these or get these things as audio only podcasts. So we will always try to keep that in mind that some people will not be able to see the screen.
I've mentioned this before. One of my biggest pet peeves for About Effing Time was the fact that they kept forgetting that it was an audio medium. They kept showing things and not talking about them. So we are primarily still focused on audio. We will describe everything to you so you don't have to fear that we're only showing stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, having said that,
yes,
I have a juicy rumor.
Before we get into your juicy rumor, I want to say two things. One, wristwatch check.
Okay.
Two, before we physically make the switch to Riverside, we will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we officially cut the cord on the old hosting, we will let you know.
Send a small message.
Yes, we will.
So you know.
So you will know for if you're one of those 5%.
Yeah.
All right. Now, aside from that housekeeping, what are you wearing today?
Yeah. What am I wearing? Yeah, I am wearing my colloquium.
Oh, Jesus
Project
Christ.
1 G01. Why?
It came already.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this for quite some time.
Yeah. It was there quickly.
So can you tell me how was the duties? Did you have to pay duties on it?
Yes. Well, it was prepaid, right? I paid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I paid about 10%.
Okay.
So the price is like 3,000 Swiss francs, slightly below. Then you pay 10% on top of that for duties and handling fees and all of the stuff because it was prepaid duties.
Yeah.
So with DHL and some other things you can, and they did this for some regions, they have done that prepaid. So you don't have to pay anything when it arrives, which is great because then all of this clearance gets much faster.
Well, not just that, you know how much you're in for because I have had duties that I know for a fact were too high. And I've had duties that were absolutely lower than they should have been, and there's no pattern.
Yeah, I think I had the same discussion just now when we got a shipment from my wife, and there was a bit of quite expensive things in for a few $1,000s, and then there was the invoice we got was for the entire shipment, but the shipment was shipped in 3 different pieces, but it wasn't. There's no packing list and all of stuff because in the US, they don't do this anymore. It's, printed stuff. And especially because it's usually when we use shop and ship, it's not going out of this country. You don't need invoices and all of this stuff. Anyhow, it was complicated. So they wanted to take the entire invoice amount.
3 times.
Well, yeah. It's the one time when they actually wanted to see the invoices. And I wanted them to put the tax on everything. And I said, no, this is not the shipment for everything. And I said, well, we can only do it if that's the invoice, that's the invoice. They didn't care, basically, because there was no packing list in this for this specific shipment. Mm-hmm. But then they also took the price before discounts.
Yeah.
And I thought, how? And they said, yeah, but this is the shipment value. I said, no, the shipment value is what I paid.
Yes.
It's like, you can't tax me on something that I never paid.
But no, it gets worse because they will, I told you this, I shop and shipped something from my house in US to here. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to put invoice. They were asking for an invoice. I'm like, these are my old things, my personal belongings that are, like old clothes and stuff. And they wanted an invoice. So I just literally had to make an invoice myself.
Yes, you have to do this. With all of the imports, exports, it's just you have to have an invoice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But nonetheless, depending, and then this is also another issue. Now the U.S. people know what we've been bitching and moaning about for I don't know how long because they have to deal with this themselves. Yeah. But essentially, DHL, UPS, FedEx all have their own different, how do I say it? Their own little cut of these, right? So yes, it's supposed to be 10%, but you'll notice that, FedEx wants 2% for their convenience fee. And such. So they're always,
fees, of course, because they're doing this on your behalf, of course. Yeah.
So this is always a pain. And then the other issue is you are lucky that you only dealt with shop and ship for this. Imagine having to deal with FedEx or a major, they've already paid this in your behalf. So shop and ship doesn't. They deal with this before it goes out, essentially.
Yeah.
FedEx has paid this. They're not going to. Who are they going to go back to? The government? So it becomes a very big thing. If you recall, when I paid the duties for the Grand Seiko that never shipped from Hodinki, it took probably 6 months to get that money back. And it was weekly emails.
Yeah.
And it was just circles and circles and circles. And the same people. And they're like, well, we went to the government and they want proof that it wasn't in the box. And I'm like, what? Here's a picture of it without it being in the box. Like, what do you want? like the the video where the landlord wants to see that the hot water's not working, and he's like takes a picture of the sink. He's like, it's like this but cold. I don't know. Like it's the requests and questions I got were absolutely ridiculous. So
Send me a picture of the hot water not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
so anyway, long story short.
You have to show a picture of how you're freezing with the water.
So all said and done.
So that's what I
let me
was
see this watch again. It's such a cool watch. I really like it.
And you know,
I wanted to get a Colloquium as well, but the one that I wanted was more expensive.
I really love this hook and strap. It's like an Apple
It
Watch.
is Apple. It is Apple Watch. Apple Watch Ultra strap.
And exactly like the Apple Watch Ultra strap. And they used Deluxe for it, right? So Deluxe is making this strap for them. And unfortunately, they're out of stock because I wanted to have a different color as well, because this is like navy blue, dark blue, right? With a navy blue dial, which looks fantastic.
It's a light blue dial with navy blue markers.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, with a bit darker one.
So which one is this? Do you know?
G01.
No. Which one is this in terms of the dial configuration?
Yeah,
Remember, there's two different ones.
G01. It's a Project One, G01, and then there's a G02. Okay. So this one has the Lume on the hands and the black surround for the hands, or dark blue surround for the hands.
And the other one?
And a white second hand. The other one has a dark blue second hand, has a white surround and black hands, I think.
Okay.
I can show you if you want.
The one that I wanted to get was the purple one with the gray strap, and it was so freaking cool. But because they used apparently a lot more Lume on that one than this one, the price was also significantly higher, I think by like 500 Swiss francs, which it's a bit much. I think it would have been around 17,000 dirhams all in, and that's it's a steep price.
Okay. Let me share that with you. Project. So now you should be able to see. All right, this is another one. This is here the one. So I don't know if you see here the differences. This is the other one. Okay, you see that well? Oh, probably it's a bit rubbish. Let me just change.
Very much rubbish.
Very much rubbish.
Extra rubbish.
We're still figuring it out. Let me quickly share my screen here differently. Again, but this is all very, very weird. Let me see. Wait. We are present here in this one. Share. So now it's much better. This is easier for you to see. So you have mine on the left and the other one on the right.
Well,
so,
I definitely like yours better.
Yeah, I wanted it to be loomed because on the right side, the hands are not loomed, right?
Which?
This one on the right.
So is there Lume on the dial?
Yeah, of course. The dial, that's the 2 grams of Lume. Which is completely...
No, but the issue is then the other ones, the surrounds that are loomed, or what's loomed on the hands on the other one?
Nothing. On the hands are not loomed as far as I understand. So
then what the fuck does the purpose of having...
Higher contrast. Because you have the entire dial is loomed, so that means you will also see the hands negatively because they will block.
I don't know. It sounds a little bit...
No, I think it's okay.
No, just ignoring the Lume fact, I think yours looks better, period.
Yep, thank you.
Yup.
Happy that
I like
you
it
think
too.
That. Good. So,
show me the one that I was looking at.
Oh.
The purple one?
The purple ones. Yeah,
I don't know why I want a purple watch, but it's just so cool.
Let me see. I have to share this one in here. So you had... first of all, they have this new Project O2, which is super cool, which now has this round shape, so which looks like a I don't know, surface of mountains or something, right?
I don't know.
Do you see that?
I don't know what it looks like. I mean, frankly, I'm looking at it and I couldn't tell you what I think it looks like. It looks like a...
You wanted the violet one here, this one here. Project
is so cool.
F. It is also a lot of Lume because it's all in purple Lume, right?
But look at that price though. It says 666 francs more than yours.
Yo.
Why? Because purple Lume is more expensive? Or is it just because it's more Lume?
I don't know. I think it's also a smaller amount. I mean, they have only made 399 pieces, and I think
Oh, this was the whole story about they bought all the purple Lume
yeah, they bought
for a
the
year's supply from Super Luminova. That's
bought
why it
the
was expensive.
entirety.
Yeah, the
of
entirety.
the purple Lume that Super Luminova actually produced. Completes a year production.
Yeah, and they used it in how many? I think it was like 100
400
watches or something.
400,
50
yeah.
400 watches.
400.
Nuts.
Yeah. So, but they also use so much, right? They said that usually you use 0.1 gram of Lume for an entire watch, and they use 2 grams on
Per
each
watch.
because there's so much of Lume in it. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, moving on.
Now you.
I
What-
am
what are you
wearing,
wearing?
can you guess what I'm wearing?
I'm guessing you're wearing a Pelagos again.
No, the Black Bay 54.
Oh yeah, you're
So close. So
you-
close. And this brings me to if you go into your wrist track app, there's a beta feature. If you go to stats called wrist recap, you choose the year that you want and you say generate wrist recap. And I'm going to read you my wrist recap and then Ralph will read you his
Oh la
wrist
la.
recap.
I have to do it.
So, in 2025, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I downloaded this app after deleting the app and all my data went away because I got tired of it. Because remember, I was selling a whole bunch of stuff and I was just sick and tired of watches for a second. And then I re-downloaded the app. So apparently my first entry was on June 24th. That's when I re-downloaded the app. And since June 24th, I have tracked 176 wears. I'm not going to go into collection changing because obviously nothing has changed since then. I got this when everything was static. I think I did sell the Hamilton khaki. That was the only thing that left my collection. Here's my top 3. I have worn my Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch 25 times, which is once every 7 days since I started tracking. I have worn my Pelagos 39, that's my number 2, 41 times. So just comparing this to my previous one, it's almost double that of the Speedmaster. And finally, my top dog, as it says, is the Black Bay 54 with 51 wears tracked. So
Interesting.
the Pelagos 39 and the Black Bay 54 are kind of on par with each other. So there you have it. That is what I have
Yeah.
done.
Interesting. I have just switched on wrist track for the first, the recap for the first time. So it crunched my numbers and it has told me that I have tracked so far, and the year is not over, 368 times because sometimes I track twice a day.
Multiple. Yeah, exactly.
So I have tracked more than a year's worth, of wear. So
That's fine. I would say I don't know how many days. I'm definitely more than one watch a day guy. So
yeah, I have not registered my sold watches properly here. I see that I have 0 sales and a lot of purchases, which is not entirely true. But I have not done that properly. Okay, my top 3. Strangely enough, in at number 3, your third most worn watch this year was your Panerai Lumino Marina 3 days Titanio. And I wore this 32 times. That's surprising. But I took it on vacation with me. So that's always like one solid week, for example, of wearing it. So I wore it 32 times. Wow. And I said that's once every 11 days since you started tracking. Okay. So
that's not bad.
Then I have a runner-up, which is also surprising because I'm seeing this for the first time, right? I have no idea that I wore my DUG Purist Type 2 32 times. Wow, second place.
That's pretty good.
Next, what is next? The top dog. Ooh, the top dog is also one of my top dogs, is with 52 wears, my Vacheron Constantin Overseas. Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Wow. So, 2 blue watches, blue dial watches and one brown dial watch, because the Panerai has a very dark brown dial. Okay, thanks for using wrist track. Okay, 52
You're
wears.
welcome, wrist track.
Ah, thank you. All right, yeah. So that was interesting. Who would have thought? So now what?
But I think I would have seen this. The Dougie and the Vacheron, I think, are your two most worn watches blindly.
Weird. No, I wasn't so sure.
One of the cheapest ones and one of the most expensive ones.
Yes. But by the way, tomorrow I'm going to an event from Ahmed Siddiqui and Sons, an edit event, which is at the G-Shock boutique in the Dubai Hills Mall. And there's an event at 8 p.m. Where they are showcasing some new releases from Casio G-Shock. I hope it's the MIP watches, but I don't know. They will do some activities and some activations and some entertainment, and there's a chance to win something.
Well, we have a comment on Instagram on our G-Shock episode, and it was a German guy. And he said there is let me tell you the exact place, because by now, who knows, because, at this point it might have changed. The statistics or whatever, the actual stock that's available. But this gentleman said, for the German G-Shock lovers, Juwelier Schroeder.de has the black one still in stock, and you get a 10% discount. He said he snatched the last one in silver.
Nice.
Yes, the black one, as in the black rubber one, is still available as of yesterday when he commented.
Oh, that is lovely. How congratulations.
Yes, I told him. The silver one is a very, very good looking watch. And yes, I do think there's a little bit of, I don't think I'm personally going to go for the MIPS. MIP. Meanwhile, by the way, MIPS, for those that are into cycling, is a technology that they have.
So memory in pixel.
Yes, and the other one is multi-directional impact protection system that they put into helmets, where the inner case of the helmet rotates apart from the outer case to essentially absorb as like a how do I say it? like a crush zone. So the helmet rotates around your head to take some of the lateral forces. So every time I hear MIP, I always think MIPS.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, MIP, memory and pixel. What was my point of my story?
I have no idea.
I don't think I would go like. I have the black one, regular one. I have the silver one, regular one. Would I also get the other one? I don't think so. Right. I think I would personally just stick to what I have and they're the classic ones, and I do prefer the classic ones.
Yeah. So I must say, because you can actually, with this memory in pixel, because it's smaller pixels, it's not the segmented display. You can actually put the segment display on. You have
but it doesn't look the same. It's not the same.
Yes, I know. Some people feel like that. I do. I want the new one. I want the silver one. I would love to have it in a positive display, but I will also take the negative one because I don't have any steel G-Shock anymore except my titanium one, right? So I don't have the steel version, and I would love to have the steel version. Yeah. But let's see if they even launch them tomorrow and if they're available. If they are available, I might just take one. I hope they have some introductory discount, which I doubt a bit, but who knows? Maybe I win something like a small voucher and I can immediately use that. Who knows? But I'll try. See what I can do.
Yes, but they are already available in UAE.
The steel ones?
No, not the steel ones. The rubber one was already available.
Steel ones are not yet available. Rubber ones, yes, but I decided that I'm not going for the rubber ones because I know exactly what I will do. Because I want the steel one, right? So that
what
means
will
that
you do?
I'll buy it, and then I'll have another watch that I don't really need because I then have two.
Yeah, so
MIP.
G-Shocks don't count.
I know.
Well, no, you took the G-Shocks don't count to an excess when you had 52 G-Shocks at one time, but that was a little much. But
Yeah, I did have an idea of actually doing a proper themed collection. Like
that
all
was a
metal
collection.
G squares.
Yes.
But with Bluetooth. So all that's the GMW line, more basically, right? But then
GMW B.
GMW.
The B is for Bluetooth.
B5000, yeah. But then I decided that at some stage that this was a bit silly because there's so many of these, like the Bordeaux red one, the super dark red one, the red wine,
the Tokyo neon one,
then
the blue one.
There were some that were just not really something I would wear.
The Trans-Tixie?
No, the Trans-Tixie I never bought because I just didn't like it.
So cool. That was so cool. I don't think I would wear it, but it was so cool. Once again, that's the one with the every link was a different color.
Yeah.
And it was all in titanium. But it was as if for those of you that remember Volkswagen from the 90s, we had the Harlequin Golf and the Harlequin Polo. This is the G-Shock, the Harlequin G-Shock.
Every panel had a different color.
Fun fact, they actually made regular Golfs and Polos and then swapped panels. So you can always tell from the bottom and the roof what the original color of your specific Harlequin was.
Interesting.
Yeah, because those don't shift, right? The roof, and it was that C coming down the C-pillar, and on the bottom and on the top was always the original color. And then each one is different because they literally would just build the full car in blue and then a yellow and then a red and then so forth. And then we just swap the panels, which is so cool. Like, who the hell does this? Like,
that's amazing.
Volkswagen used to be so cool. And nowadays,
what happened?
Not so
what
much.
happened? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So as my watch-related things, I'll do. What else? I have a rumor.
Okay.
The rumor is, and that's affecting very, very few people, but it is an interesting rumor. It is rumored, not confirmed, but rumored that FP Journe will increase their prices. And you think, wow, why is
what a
that?
revelation.
What is the rumor in that? I mean, first of all, they're not actually increasing prices that much, but this time they're increasing the prices for the platinum models by, and that's the rumor, by a very high double-digit number. And we're not talking 10%, 20%, 30%. We're talking more than that. So we're talking about...
I am personally affected by this.
Between 40 and 60%.
Yeah.
And then their gold watches, even more. They will increase the prices by above 60%.
What can we do?
Yeah, I mean, think about this. I think that's for the industry. Good. These are like, they produce what, 800 watches a year, right? They have 12 boutiques around the world, or points of sales. And I would say there is no new people who can buy these watches because they probably have all existing customers that are, buying up all of whatever they can produce, right? Are there a lot of flippers? I'm not so sure. There's always FP Journe somewhat available on the secondary market or on auctions. And they are fetching a very pretty penny on the auctions. So they are going for a lot of money on the auctions. And I think FP Journe was on the record saying, this is actually the real value of these watches. This is what we should charge. Because the market has spoken and said that this is what we think this watch is worth, right? Because somebody paid it. I'm a bit split on this. I'm not 100% sure. I think that the market is, of course, a good yardstick of how much a watch is worth. That's why some brands lose so much value on the secondary market, because you buy them for $1,000 and immediately they're only worth half, 500, let's say. And then there are other watches that you buy for 1,000 and you can sell them for 10, which is fantastic. Journe is one of these. In the beginning, they started selling watches. They were not very popular. They had to be sold with a discount. Some watches were readily available, and now it's one of the most hyped brands together with Richard Mille, I would say. Different audiences, though, I think. Richard Mille goes to a different clientele than F. Pigeon, because F. Pigeon is more the traditional watchmaking and just not the more modern stuff that Richard Mille goes for. But basically what I mean with that is these guys, what will happen when you increase the prices by 50, 60, 70, 80%? Will they say, that's ridiculous? Or do they not care because it's still
They do not care.
more expensive on the secondary market? You're still not losing money.
No. Once again, we have to go into the whole, what we talked about last time, the Veblen goods, right? The people that are buying this have so much money that they just honestly don't care. And there's two things that can happen here. Yes, they could go up in value, and then the value would keep up with, they would still be hard to attain. Therefore, the after sales or gray market prices, black market prices would be higher. But this could equalize the two markets as well, meaning that flippers would no longer want to buy them, and therefore the people that actually wanted FP Journeys would be able to buy them at retail. But then once again, those people who are buying it wouldn't really care because they just have the money, and it doesn't matter whether your yacht costs 5 million or 5.5 million. It's not going to make any difference.
Yeah. 50% is 5 million or 7.5 million. That's a difference.
We're fine. Then it's also not going to make a difference.
But my point is
because if you're buying it, you have the money to buy it.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you don't. There's the unforeseen consequences. It could be, and this is the thing that even I studied economics and I still have no idea what will happen.
Did you really? I never knew what you studied. Were you an
economics with a
economicist?
focus on, my degree is an economics degree, but I'm focused on hospitality management. But basically, you do an economics studies for most of the time, and then you get into the more specialized part in the second half of your studies, basically. But yeah, so I have an economics degree, but still, I don't know what's going to happen. I cannot predict it. It could go either way. It's going to go either full on.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah, I have
it's not a very. You really built up the I have a rumor, and then you tell me this piece of garbage information.
This is not. It's a watch brand increasing their prices by above 50%. This is.
You mean
this is
a
not
watch brand
normal.
other than JLC?
This is not normal. 50% across the board.
Yeah, JLC did the same thing. 40%.
Yeah, and some models, some that
the reverse, so 40%.
And yet. I checked recently. I searched. I went on the website because they have a new, not so new, 2 or 3 weeks old now. It's the new Master Control date. I think it's ultra slim or something. It's in 36 millimeters, and they're doing only 500 pieces of it. This is the cheapest round watch that they are doing, and that is 37,000 dirhams, so $10,000 or something. No, sorry, it's a bit less. It's I think it was $9,000, something like that. In the UAE, it's about 36, something like that. And was it 32? Oh man, I forgot. I'm so bad at this. And anyhow, they are, and I searched for all watches that JLC offers here in the region, and I sorted them by price from low to high. And there were 8 or 9 watches cheaper than this watch. The Master Control, which is the cheapest Master Control, right? The 36 millimeter one. So there were a few reversals cheaper than that.
Yes.
And I was quite surprised. So, I was just quite surprised to see cheaper reversals. I mean, of course, there were some smaller versions, some quartz versions, but there was also a mechanical one, which was cheaper. So the reverso is basically the cheapest watch. And one of the most expensive.
It's exactly, but surprisingly, the reverso, the cheapest reverso, now we have 2. We still have the quartz ones.
Yeah,
we have to remember that the quartz ones are still there. The women's quartz ones, a small size.
Yeah,
but then at the same time, we also have the new ones, right? The without the small seconds, and those came in at around 8,000 euros. Pounds, francs, whatever they were. And they undercut the older ones, the one that I have, by a good 10,000 dirhams almost. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. But as we talked about with our good friend, Kari Voutilainen, they have moved a lot of the production costs from hand working to machining, right? And not machining, I should say. Robotics. I don't know what to call it because machining is still something you do by hand.
Automation.
Automation.
You can call it automation. Yeah.
Yes, automation. So for that reason, the production cost has significantly gone down. So there is no more guilloche dials. There is no more, what do you call it? The turning, what is it? Not engine turning.
Guilloche, engine turning.
And the perlage. There's no more perlage on the backside.
And this is a bit of a joke because you can do perlage as well with machines, automated perlage. Yeah. You can do hand finished perlage and you can do automated perlage. But
you can do automated guilloche as well.
Yes,
as Rolex has shown.
CNC machines and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's So basically, here you see that you have this new Master Control Classic. Oh, sorry, that was it. 32,000 dirhams. Oh, 32,800.
That is the cheapest watch. That is the cheapest. Then can you show me the cheap? So let me see the cheapest. I can't see. Is there any way for me to enlarge this?
I don't know. But here is this
freaking Riverside.
29,200 is the cheapest monophase reverso classic monophase small seconds, which is a manual watch.
Which is this? Sorry, pause. What is that one? I can't see anything.
This is the reverso classic monophase small seconds for 29,200 dirhams. It's 24 millimeters.
Hold on. I'm going to go to my yegerleculture.com.
I can send you the link.
No, it's fine. I will.
Because then you don't have to search and source.
No, the reason I'm telling you this is because that is the one that I have, and I believe that is now, I don't believe, I know that's discontinued. So if it's discontinued, why is it on the website?
It says new.
Does it say not available?
No, it says new.
What's the size of it?
It's 40 times 24.4.
40?
Times, 40 is the length.
No way. They made 24. It small seconds in the... Oh, no.
And it says new.
Oh, no.
Yo.
That's my favorite size.
Yeah.
And they never had this before. Okay, so the cheapest watch JLC sells currently is 21,600 dirhams, and that is the Reverso Classic Monophase Origin Quartz.
Yo.
Then we have a few more quartz stuff until we get into the classic monophase.
Correct.
Small seconds. So this is something new that I have not seen before.
Yeah, and you can get exactly. It is relatively new. I mean, new as in 2 or 3 weeks old, I think. This what.
Yeah. So this is my exact watch.
Yeah.
But we're in a smaller size, which I'm very, very surprised by that they would make a small seconds. That's nuts. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I learned something new today.
Yeah. See, that's
good.
And then
after that, we go into the, as you said, the Master Control Classic with just the date.
Yeah.
And then after that, essentially, we go into the Tribute Monophase, which is 35K at the moment.
Yeah. And then you go into the tributes. Yeah, exactly.
But why? Why is this one more expensive than the Classic, which has a small seconds?
I think this is a mystery. It's the same, the tribute is the same size.
But more complicated.
Why?
Because it has a small seconds. The other one doesn't have any seconds.
No, the tribute doesn't have the small seconds.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying is, it's 5,000 dirhams more expensive with no seconds of any kind.
Yeah, but see, what you could argue, and I'm not so sure if that's a good argument, but you could argue that this classic monophase small seconds has a printed dial.
Which one?
The monophase classic, the new one.
Yes, but it has guilloche dial.
Yeah, and the other one,
heat blued hands.
The tribute has applied indices. I'm not so sure if that makes a difference, or if it's a 5,000 different. Yeah, and it has as you said, small second hands and it's blued hands. This has the other one. I don't know. Look, it's a very good question. Why is this more? Because they both have probably this more or less a similar movement, because both of them are manual.
They are the same 822 movement.
Yeah, just one has small seconds, so it's a bit different. But yeah, it's surprising. Let's say it this way. It's surprising.
But is this a trend, you think, that they are lowering prices as they release new models?
I have a feeling that they have realized that maybe they have outpriced themselves a tiny bit.
Well, let me just put it this way.
This is a good chunk lower for a manual watch that is in no regards worse than a Tribute. It has numerals.
Is better in every way.
It has numerals instead of indices, so that's a different. It has a different face. Let's say it this way, right? But it has.
To me,
the
this
same
is the
case.
Reverso's face.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's
but this still has the guilloche dial. We haven't seen it in person, so I don't know. But this is the same price, almost exactly, as what I bought mine for back in 2021.
yeah.
I paid 28,800 dirhams, so it's a 400 dirham difference. Mine was what they called it at that time the medium size, so mine's a 42 millimeters, so it's slightly larger, which I did prefer because this has 18 millimeter lugs and mine had 19 millimeter lugs.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day when mine first debuted, they called it the Grand Taille, or the large size, which is surprising because it's only 2 millimeters larger. Lug to lug. But the current large size is like gigantor. It's like 46 millimeters, I believe. 45 and 5.6 millimeters.
Yeah,
lug to lug. So it's significantly larger. But mine was kind of like right there in the sweet spot.
So also the new Reverso Classic monophase small seconds in I don't know what size it is. Is the large size? Yeah.
Oh,
large.
there it is. Yeah, the large
It's
size.
41,700. So it's 10,000 euros. That is a lot.
Whoa. Is it okay? We have some issue here.
Why?
Look at the Tribute in the same size and the price.
Tribute for which size?
The large size.
The large size.
Look at the large Tribute compared to the
Tribute.
The classic.
Tribute. Yeah, I'm going. Tribute is there's an exclusive one.
They're all exclusivity. Don't ignore that. That's nonsense.
Same price.
Exactly. So how in the hell is in the large size to the Durham 41,700 for both the classic and
Tribute.
the monophase small seconds, or whatever, the Tribute and the classic, but then when you come down to the medium size or small size,
there's a 5,000 difference. But
something
you know what?
Doesn't add up.
Yeah, but you know what? In this large size, they both have a small second. Even the small second has a small second.
So let's remove the small seconds and it costs more. Soon we will see a large with no small seconds for 50,000 dirhams.
Who knows?
I think somebody messed up. I'm going to switch stores and I'm going to go to US.
I don't think it's messed up. What I do think is that they have they're trying things. For example, here they have this entry level Reverso, which is really significantly cheaper for a manual wound watch than the existing entry level one.
So $9,600 US for the Reverso Tribute, or $8,000 for the classic monophase. So yeah, it is same pricing in the US as well.
Interesting. Who knows what's going to happen? But this is the thing when we are doing our year in review and the year ahead episode, which we will eventually do.
I thought this was that episode.
Nah, we're already 40 minutes in, I think.
About anything.
So I think that when we saw all of the increases in prices, with all the uncertainty and all of the stuff that happened in the watch industry, if it continues 2026 like that, when people or brands are still continuing to increase prices, I'm not so sure. I think this year was so full of, let's say, angst, right? Where people said, oh, the tariffs are coming, let's buy something now before they hit, right? Now the tariffs were not as high anymore for Swiss watches, at least in the US. But the prices went up anyway everywhere, and they're not going down as usual. Unless, for example, like here JLC with the new CEO, maybe there is already some realization that maybe we need to just have certain entry-level models that people can buy that are not $10,000, right? I think it is getting in that area, and I think this is good. This is good. They should do that. They should be a bit more approachable, especially if you are a brand like JLC, who do have very high-end watches, but also always had good entry-level watches, right?
And once again, the whole thing of of JLC was they were always ridiculously good value for what you get, right?
You could argue, and that's one of the things that you could always say, that JLC was for longest period of time undervalued.
Significantly.
So they should have priced their watches higher. Then they went a bit overboard, again, like maybe Jordan now, when increasing their prices within a year by 40%, like three or four increases during 1 year, and boom, they were 40% more expensive. I think that was too fast for a brand that,
for their own good.
Yeah, that sells quite a few more watches than.
Yeah, and meanwhile, here we are sitting at, let's say, Grand Seiko. I'm going to look them up for a moment. The Grand Seiko SBGM 221 has been out for now, it's better part of a decade. And I don't think there has been a single price increase in Grand Seiko.
Yeah, that's.
I'm looking it up right now on the Watch House, and it's still the exact same price as when it came out, 18,900 dirhams, which is nuts if you think about it. So yeah, and then you get a discount, and you ended up. I got it for 16,600, but I just saw a Watch You Seek post when I googled this, and it says SBGM 221, the consistent classic. And yeah, it is the consistent classic. They just, for some reason, it's still there. It's still the same price. Yet when you look at all of their other watches, a US 5,400 USD. So it has not increased. No price bumps.
Yeah.
Although the rest of the models are now around $10,000, right? The spring drives and all of these, the snowflakes have gone not up, but
I don't know how they
the new models went up.
How they exchange rate, because some of the exchange increases in price were always because the Swiss franc was so much higher valued than the dollar. I mean, it went up in the exchange rate of the dollar to Swiss franc wasn't very beneficial for the dollar, so it got weaker compared to the Swiss franc. So that's why they had to increase the prices if they wanted to not, earn less in Swiss francs. But I don't know if that was the same with the yen. So,
well, ignoring that, because remember, Grand Seiko is making their new watches at new price points. Their average selling price now, it looks to be, to me, around 30,000 dirhams. If you look at what they're actually selling. However, the old models, I think as Japanese, I don't know if this is a part of the Japanese mentality, but you cannot ask more for something that you've already asked a certain price. And I feel the same way, right? You're selling the same product. It should be at the same price. Yes, cost of living, cost of manufacturing, parts, everything.
Yeah, and exchange rates are a different story always, right?
Yeah, but like, I love the fact that they kept it the same price.
That's true, yeah. So I think we have I agree with that.
What else is new?
What else is new is two watches that I think are worth talking about. Both have black dials and both are collaborations. One is I don't know if you saw it, the Tag Heuer and Fragment design. Glass.
I don't know what a fragment design is my first thought.
Fragment is a Hiroshi Fujiwara is a designer, a Japanese designer, and he is the creator of Fragment Design. They do, I don't know what Fragment actually does. I think it's a clothing company, or I could be completely wrong. But he's known for a long time, and they have done collaborations before together. And what I think looks really cool on this Fragment watch is that it is like a, I don't know if you have it in front of you. If you could just
I do.
go to Hodinkee, it's on the top page. It has just basically taken away a lot of stuff from the dial. Like you don't know
He's
anymore.
a streetwear guy, by the way.
Streetwear. See this? So it is fashion. So they have reduced. They have put the glass box over the bezel, which they do in the glass
Always
box
was
variation.
that way.
Yeah, exactly. And the bezel is in silver, I think, or in white. I don't know. It's silver, I think.
Silver.
You
It
have
looks
the
silver to
date
me.
at 12, where the second hand conveniently always disturbs the
And
view.
what is in the date?
I think every few days, every 7 days, you have this fragment sign, this electricity signy thing that is their logo of Fragment Design, showing there every few days, I think. I don't know. I couldn't find.
So you don't know what day it is. You have a date window without the date.
Well, every now and then you don't know what the date is.
Every now and then your watch doesn't work. That's
That
fine.
doesn't work. It just has this, but I don't know when it shows this.
It could be on just the first.
It's
What's it called? Style? Kermit style?
the version has been. I don't know. I don't know where it actually says that. It's very weird.
Here. Fragment's lightning bolt logo subtly appears in the 1 and 11 numerals.
Oh, okay. So it's for 1 or 11. Okay, great. So that's that.
Great.
Great. So the next collaboration that I think is similar but different is the
Same,
Frederic
but
Constant.
different.
Frederic Constant collaboration with Time and Tide, which is 100 pieces. It's a high life moon phase, and I like it. I like it.
I like it. Some.
39 millimeters. It is a bit like
I would not buy it.
It is a bit like a Datejust without the fluted bezel, but with the Jubilee bracelet. So it's a bit like something is slightly off because it has a Jubilee bracelet but a domed bezel. But I really like the Onyx style. I like the red accents on it. I like the nice moon face with a hyper-realistic moon on it there. That is pretty well done. I mean, it is elegant. It is elegant. I think it is a very nice But, and this is a big but, I also have to tell you something about Frederic Constant, which recently came in the, how do you say that, in the, under Frederic Constant got under fire to a certain extent because our friend from London, King Flum, right? He had an inside scoop. It turned out that Frederic Constant and Alpina have actually sold the vast majority of their production, and that's also something about the watch industry in review, right? We have to consider this. The vast majority of their production through grey market websites direct. So basically their biggest client, he was told, again, this is all hearsay rumors, but he said the biggest client was Joma Shop.
I'm just on Joma Shop.
And this is both before and after the Citizen Group has bought Frederic Constant. So they said, by Frederic Constant employees, they were told that the biggest problem with this arrangement is that Frederic Constant gave Joma Shop a much better margin than their own authorized dealers. So as a result, it was often cheaper for authorized dealers to buy from Joma Shop instead of buying from Frederic Constant direct. Now, that is mind-blowingly weird, right? Because why would you do this? And then you know, it is quoted from one authorized dealers, and I read this to you. One Frederic Constant dealer told him, "You should have seen the sales rep's face when she came in my store, looked at my display and said, 'I don't remember selling you these.'" And the AD responded with, well, you didn't. They were cheaper to buy from YomaShop. Imagine the sales representative from Frederic Constant visits an authorized dealers and sees watches they didn't sell them, and they bought them from YomaShop cheaper than from Frederic Constant direct. So,
but here's my question with that: YomaShop doesn't give warranties.
This is the thing. Frederic Constant still honors the warranty on the gray stock sold to YomaShop, which isn't surprising, as they have had certain other of these arrangements with other brands as well. Another, So they actually honor the warranty. So there you go.
Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, YomaShop is a mystery to me, right? I mean, they were supposed to be dried out. You know, the watch industry at some stage said like, no, if we are not going to sell by your YomaShop. I mean, Breitling was one of these where they said, no, this is ridiculous. This is diluting the brand. We can't do this. So they tried to remove their stock from YomaShop, right? And punish people who would sell to YomaShop, some dealers who would, give their watches cheap to YomaShop for them to resell. But then at the same time, Tag Heuer and Breitling had their own shops in outlet malls. And you think they have overproduction. Yes. They need to get rid of it. There need to be channels to get rid of overproduction or old seasons production, all of this stuff. They don't want to take it back and repurpose, recycle it or destroy it like other fashion brands, high-end fashion brands do. So they basically need an outlet in so many words. And I think YomaShop is one of these that just works, right? They can move these products.
I want to point this out. Remember the Hodinkee Unimatic that I bought on YomaShop?
Yeah.
We are fairly good at keeping up with Hodinkee limited editions. Neither of us remembered this being a Hodinkee limited edition, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it popped up on YomaShop. And then all of the press stuff popped up on Hodinkee at the same time. So I don't know where the hell this came from, because sure as hell it was not released. I looked through my emails. I did not get the email for it, as I always do. So essentially what happened was Hodinkee had a limited edition coming up. They were under fire. They had all the fire sales, clearance, whatever going on. They could not deal with another drop. And not to mention another drop that would have been for sure a flop. A $3,000 or whatever, $2,500 Unimatic. So what do? They pump it all into YomaShop. All however many pieces, 500 pieces that it was, 200 pieces, I don't remember. But that's nuts to think about that they would actually do this.
Yeah.
But once again, it must have been easier than for them to deal with a bunch of customers selling or them. Actually, it's not that they would have sold it. They would have sat around for a very long time.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. Is it? Yeah. I mean, you can move products. YomaShop does move products. Right?
YomaShop moves an absolute metric shit ton of product.
Because they can give such discounts, because they are not an authorized dealer, because they can and they're only online, right? So they can. And I think even though, because they buy so much in bulk, they basically just, like I told this many times before, you buy a shipment, right? And you buy 100 watches for $50,000, let's say it this way, right? $50,000. And you want to make profit from it. You say, I want to make 75,000 with this shipment of 50,000. So if you sold, let's say, of these 100 watches, half of them, 50 watches already with for 10,000, that means you have made your 50,000, right? The shipment costs. Mm-hmm. So now you can sell the remaining 50% of the watches, or 50 watches that you have, for it doesn't matter which price, and you still make a profit. Yep. So even if you sell them for $1,000, you still make a small amount of profit, but you will make a profit. You're making no loss. So my point there is, and if you see this, and this is how the textiles and the fashion industries always sees this, they always look at their batch. How much did we make with this batch? They don't care for the specific value of one item. They just want to know what's the cost for this batch, how much did I sell already from it, am I in the plus, or if I am, then I can just pump out the rest for huge discounts to move that stock out and get new stock in, right? And that is a very different retail approach to luxury, which always tries to maintain their price points and no discounts and all of this stuff. But you don't have that in a Zara, Massimo Dutti or anything. They just, or H&M. They see it in batches, and that's why they can discount sometimes 50%, 70% discount on stuff, because they already made their money with the batch, right? So they can sell individual items below their cost price. And you think, how can this be profitable? It is because they're looking at a batch. They're not looking at its individual items, right?
Yeah.
So weird.
It is very strange.
But what to do? And this is what Yoma Shop does. And that's why I think Yoma Shop also has clients that are actually not really authorized dealers, but dealers that have normal retail dealers. And if you see this, that sometimes authorized dealers from Frederic Constant buy from Yoma Shop, even though
that is so strange. The fact that it came full circle. It came full circle.
Yeah,
which is
not nice.
It's crazy.
And you think, wait a second. I mean, these guys from Frederic Constant, they are part of a big group. They have Arnold and Son and La Joux-Perret and Citizen, of course, and they're part of the Citizen group. And you think how, why, But it seems like, and Alpina, of course, being part of the same group as well. So, both groups are maybe struggling with brand perception and also sales, right? Because they're in this odd space of value of pricing where they are not luxury, not the entry-level luxury, which I would say is like $3,000 and $4,000 and above. But they are below that with a majority of their watches, which are not that much. And that's an odd price point to be, because there you have a lot of competition with smartwatches, with basically also cheaper ones with Tissot and all of these things. It's just tough. It's just not easy, right? You're in this awkward place. You're double the price of a Tissot PRX, but you might not be as attractive, even though, it's odd. It's an odd place to be, I think, at the moment, at least. Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows where they're going? But this, I thought as well, was an interesting release, the Time and Tide version of this watch. Both steel watches with a black dial. And I like them both. And I thought they're both very, very nice.
I like the Tag Heuer. I don't know. I think Tag Heuer has been becoming more and more attractive to me as a brand.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but I think they're pumping out a few good things.
But I can tell you why.
Because of Formula One?
No, because of Jean Arnaud and focusing on Tag Heuer, hiring people like Carole Forestier-Casapi and the new CEO and all of these people who actually really are trying very hard to make Tag Heuer a really good luxury brand. That's why they're just focusing on it, and they're just really doing good stuff. Let me see this watch, if I can find it on their website, or is it already sold out? The new release there, the fragment release, because they had it on their website.
It's still on the website. I just looked.
Okay, and you can still buy it.
9,000 euros.
Yeah.
It's a little bit much.
Oh, where is it? I didn't see it.
It says buy from store or something like that.
Okay, because it was possible to buy it online, right? That was very interesting because you could actually buy it online, and it would be sent to you from Switzerland, all duties paid, exactly like the other ones, right?
Same like Zenith does.
Yeah. So now,
Zenith, once again, they whatever the UAE price is what you get it for.
Yeah, and it says here out of stock online. So yeah, it's apparently it is available in stock still in store. Sorry, but not in. Yeah, hello. This time, let me see if it's available in Dubai. Yes, it is available in the Mall of the Emirates and in the Dubai Mall. So you can still buy it. Which also interesting because a friend of mine had this, told me that story as well. I said, oh, you can buy it online and you get exactly the same price, all duties paid, but it comes from Switzerland. And he said, yeah, but I don't want it to come from Switzerland. I want to buy it in the shop. And I asked him why. And he said, yeah, if I buy it in the shop, I get a You by Emar 6% cashback.
Discount, yeah.
And I thought, yeah, it makes sense, right?
It does.
Because you don't get this if you buy online. You only get this if you buy in an Emar mall. Yeah.
Well, if you recall, the same thing happened to me, not Emar, but when I bought the Zenith Hodinky, the triple calendar.
Yes.
On zenith.com. And then I said, you know what? I should call Dubai Mall just to see if they could do something if they have it.
Yeah.
And from Zenith, it would come from Switzerland but they happen to have one in Dubai Mall. And they said, yes, come in, we'll give you 5% discount. So I said, canceled the order on Zenith's website, went into the store. We negotiated a bit more. I ended up with 7% discount. Agreed, shook hands, got out my credit card. And the lady went to the back to box it up and the manager told her no.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad at Zenith. This day. No, in retrospect, I have changed my Zenith hopes and dreams. Yeah. I want the Shadow Revival.
Okay.
Chronomaster Shadow Revival, the all titanium one.
I must say, I mean, with Zenith is at the moment also one of these brands that have outpriced themselves. I don't know what they are thinking. I think they're just way too expensive for what they are. I know they are good. I had a Zenith. I loved it. It's just
not for the price.
Yeah, the price is just a bit too much. I mean,
so the one that I want is 40,000. I think 38,000 dirhams at the store, and on Chrono 24 you can find them. Actually, sorry, on Joma Shop. On Joma Shop, you can find them brand new, and I will tell you right. I don't want to say the wrong numbers here, but. Let me put it in. Zenith Chronomaster Shadow. Not Chronometer.
Chronomaster.
I
mean, Yoma Shop is nowadays, it's absolutely amazing. They have Patek Philippe holiday sale. Where you think, what happened? Yoma Shop was like the cheapo brands, right? Now they have everything.
Here it is. I don't know what this is in. So this is the higher end one. Yeah. With I don't think they have the one on the strap. This is the one with a full titanium ladder bracelet, which is the newer version. The other one was significantly cheaper. Let me do the Chronomaster Revival Shadow on Zenith's store. Just so I have apples to apples here. This is, I want the one with the bracelet. Watches. Search. Shadow.
You will get there.
No, because there it is. Okay. 39,500 dirhams. So 40, all intents and purposes, 40,000 dirhams. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that in US dollars?
What, 49,000?
40,000.
40,000 is in dollars about 10,900. So 11,000.
Joma Shop, before any discounts, 7,500. Brand new.
So that's
25%, more than 25% off. Yep. So that is, let me just do some quick maths with our new shop and ship address in Florida. We don't pay sales tax anymore.
Which is amazing. Yes, I know. I used it already.
Although, unfortunately, the thing that I bought, I actually did have to pay tax on, which I don't understand. I did order a thing and they maybe paid taxes on it. So that is 68% of the original value. 68. So 32% discount. And I'm sure I could put in a code and get a little bit more off of this as well. Wow. And this is brand new. It's nuts.
It's nuts. You're right.
And this is, once again, it was much cheaper if you got the one on the strap. The sailcloth strap was significantly less. So I remember that being around $6,500.
Wow.
Which now we're talking. Now
you are talking. And that's I think, see, so many watches that I love, that I would only buy pre-owned because you're not getting to be going to be
pre-owned.
happy. No, I know.
And that's even better, right? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It's crazy how much this pricing is.
But this is also these watches are coming from retailers, right? And that's why this is why I think sometimes it's backfiring if you are trying to do only boutique business model, right? These authorized dealers, I know at some stage they need to move product because they need to have the money. They need to have the cash flow. They have a watch that doesn't sell in their store is just money that they have already spent because most of these companies like Zenith, they sell to their authorized dealers, right? Mm-hmm. It's not that there's a commission. It's not that they have to pay for the watch when they sold it. This inventory they have is their own money and it's tied in that watch. So Zenith already has the money, right? Whatever their wholesale price. Yep. And they are sitting on the watch and at some stage, inventory is old, they need to move it because they need to then, this money they could use to buy some other stuff that's moving faster. So they have, and they make profit on. So they need to move this watch on. Even if they make a smart, no profit or a slight loss on it, at least they have the cash to do something that increases their profitability. So obviously then they sell to people like YomaShop in bulk and say like, take all my old inventory, here's the price, and YomaShop sells it for another 10 or 15% on top of it, and still everybody is happy. But these are watches I would always buy from the gray market or pre-owned because some of these, and that's why I think sometimes it backfires. Zenith goes boutique only, where you don't give any discounts. Then that's it. Then you just lose a lot of people who will never buy a Zenith because you have priced yourself into a level where.
And this is where I'm at. Is I would love this watch, but I'm not gonna spend that much money, and I don't want to buy it on YomaShop because if you buy it on YomaShop, you end up with all of the duties, and it's gonna be a little bit much. Mm-hmm. But if I found a good one on, let's say, our TP auctions, mm-hmm. I would definitely consider it. So just in comparison, once again, 40,000 dirhams online. The cheapest one at the moment is 21,000 on Chrono24 in Japan.
Wow. Yeah, that's a difference.
Half.
Yeah. You can't do that, right?
So the market has spoken. All right. Well, anything else?
No. I mean, this is the thing. Brands increase the prices. Will it go on in 26? We will see. But on the other hand, I think there are nuggets of hope. And I think this is for us, it's positive. What we just discovered on JLC on the website, there are cheaper versions of the watches coming, right? And it's just filling up different price points. And I think they're testing it. And I think that's a good way. I always said this for the engineer, bring us a cheaper dial, maybe different, or something, just an excuse to get in at a cheaper price point. So you get so much more.
Take customers. The date window out, and then make it 5,000 dirhams less.
Yeah, and boom,
like Rolex style.
Exactly.
So on that bombshell,
we are seeing you next
year.
Next year, yes, of course. Next year. Yeah.
All right.
And then, all the best.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays, whatever. Bye-bye.